Do it again.
Okay. Yeah. So there's Mike, Mom and Dad, Annette, and Becca.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Tami and my speech tonight is on the Amish. If all the power systems in the United States failed, one group of communities would survive. We as Americans can learn much from the simple lifestyle of the Amish. Where did the Amish community come from? According to the author of Amish Roots, John Hostetler, the Amish originated from the Anabaptist movement in the 1500s in Europe. The first recorded Amish group came to America in 1727. Hostetler says that 10 years later, numerous Amish families arrived. They left their homelands because of persecution. Hostetler tells us that the Anabaptists were harassed so severely that they had no other choice but to leave. According to Hostetler, the Amish were among the early Germanic settlers in William Penn's Woods, also known as Pennsylvania. They formed settlements in Berks, Chester, and Lancaster counties. The Amish have a saying, self-praise stinks. Hostetler says that this practice of humility and moderation as key values has worked effectively in checking both individual and group arrogance. Family comes before all else for the Amish. Hostetler says that the home forms the center of life and a place of belonging for all the family members. It is a place of security and the center of decision making. The Amish have a great respect for their elders. Attached to each farmhouse is a dotty house, where the grandparents live after they retire from farming. A married son or daughter will move into the main part of the house and take over the farming responsibilities. Amish schools help the family in training to become successful members of the Amish community. Tradition and plain living are emphasized. Schooling includes grades 1 through 8. The Amish are against higher education because they believe it encourages arrogance. After schooling years are over, around 14 to 16 years of age, Amish young people enter Rumspringa, which is also known as the running around years. Teens are expected to test boundaries and to see what the outside world is like. By the time they are in their late teens to early 20s, they are expected to join church voluntarily. Hostetler says that once an individual vows to become a member, there is no turning back. By breaking the vow of baptism, an individual invites excommunication and shunning. The Amish help each other with barn raisings. Here's a picture of them doing a barn raising. It's where the whole community gathers and builds a barn for a family. They have work frolics to help their neighbors. The women gather for quilting bees, sewing, and cleaning frolics. The Amish pay taxes but refuse to join the military because of their pacifism, nor do they hold public office. Hostetler tells us that the Amish took their name from Elder Jacob Amon. He led a reform movement among scattered Mennonites 168 years after the initial founding of Anabaptist Mennonite movement. Amon represented older traditions and separation from the world to a greater extent than the Anabaptist Mennonite groups. Preachers are chosen by casting lots. The preacher isn't paid for his service, but the families in the community grow charity gardens to help feed the preacher's family. Preaching services are held every other Sunday, and they can last 3 hours or more. On the no preaching Sundays, the Amish family either stays home or they go visiting with their relatives. In their book, Amish Grace, that one, Donald Craybill, Stephen Knoll, and David Weaver Zerker say that for the Amish, the key words are self-denial, obedience, acceptance, and humility, all of which require yielding to the collective wisdom of the community. This doesn't mean that individualism withers away, but it is constrained. Further, the authors state that forgiveness is a way of life for these people, even in the face of serious crimes. The Amish believe that a criminal should be punished, but they are very much against capital punishment because then the criminal would not have the opportunity to make himself right with God. The Amish believe in the authority of the Bible. Their understanding of the Bible requires them to live in a redemptive community where each adult lives in unity and harmony with all others. After all my study of Amish culture, I think that we can learn much from their simple and loving lifestyles. Thank you.
Tami, that was very good.